Hello everybody and welcome to the second season of the SENA TV Web English shows, where you're having the opportunity to learn and practice your English, but with an emphasis in different subjects such as gastronomy, TV production, finances, business English, tourism, art, theater, health, fashion, and much more. So you'll not just be learning English, but you will be also learning about very interesting topics and situations you may encounter in your daily life whenever you travel to an English-speaking country, or whether you need to work with foreigners coming from all over the world that without doubt will communicate with you through the universal language, English. Hi everybody and welcome to our English tip for today. This lesson is part of the National Learning Service SENA bilingual programs and it is made just for you. Today you'll learn some basic terms that you need to know in order to manage your finances. For example, an asset es un activo, a fixed asset es un activo fijo, a liability es un pasivo, equity es el patrimonio, the balance sheet es el balance general, the P&L or profit and loss statement es el estado de pérdidas y ganancias, the cash flow statement es el flujo de caja, investments significa inversiones, loans significa préstamos, income significa ingreso, expenses son los gastos. Stock se refiere a las acciones de una empresa. Los stockholders son los accionistas de una compañía. Stay tuned to TV Web SENA so you can learn more English. Bye everyone! Hey Philip, do you think you can lend me some money so I can invest it in the stock market today?
Hoy, capítulo 4. Bilingüismo, inglés.
Our following guest is Manolo Paez, one of the owners of Alumbra Asesores and general manager of this company's Caribbean Coast headquarters. He works as an economic, financial, and strategy consultant. Let's check out some important economic terms and tips that Manolo will give to you.
For me, right now, the world's economy, I think that is in a pause. I think that the governments and institutions are waiting for some data of unemployment in the United States, some data of recession in some economies in Europe. If I have to explain the crisis, I think that the biggest problem is that the people don't trust in the institution. I think that Colombia, in this crisis, had made a very good job. I think that all the economies in development in Latin America, also in Asia, they do it very well. I think that the reason is because there were economies like China, India, that helped these economies not to go to recession because we found other markets to sell our product. Also with the free trade agreement that Colombia signed with the United States, this is going to help us to increase our commerce. Colombia has a very good position in Latin America because we are different. Also, the geographical position of Colombia is very good. I think that we have access to Europe, North America, and Asia very easy. I think that we can get advantage of this. We are opening our markets. We have a very good democracy, also not right now. In the past, Colombia has a very good fame of economy that never has problems in economy. We never have hyperinflations like Bolivia, Venezuela. The main problem in Colombia in the history, it wasn't the economy. It was really the conflict or the war or all this stuff that were not related to the economy. Inflation is just the change of prices from one year to another. So hyperinflation is when the prices rise too much. An asset is just what a company has. For example, in my company, my assets are my computers, also the machines that I have, or also you can say that you have human assets, because the people is a very good asset for a company. A person also has assets. Me as a person, I have an apartment, a car, so it's a thing that I can exchange for another thing. The assets is the part that you own. It's important to have a history with the banks. Like economists, I can give you some advice to take care of your finance. I think the basic is that you don't spend more than what you get. A loan is just a contract with a bank that I'm saying to the bank, you are going to give me right now an amount of money, and you are going to pay me back monthly during some time. Sometimes are 1 year, 5 years. I'm going to pay an interest rate for this loan or the money that they are giving to me. An interest rate in basics is just the cost of the money. This is the price. Right now, all the banks in the country, they are doing microfinance because they see they're a very good business. Microfinance is the really sector that is going to help us to go out from a development country to a really good economy, because that is the way that the poor people can get loans. Also, I think that a very good place to start to change the country. If you have right now an amount of money, for example, 10 million pesos, and you want to make an investment, I think that you have to think in three things. First, how long you are going to have this money invested. Second, what is the return that you want of this investment? And third, what is your relationship with the risk? If you like the risk or not like the risk. And finally, what I'm talking, that is the risk. This has a relationship with the second thing, because if you want a big revenue, you have to risk more.
We'll be right back after this short break with more Business English. This is SENA TV Web. Don't move.
Estás viendo Bilingüismo, Inglés. Capítulo 4.
Do you know what ROI means? ROI. The expression ROI stands for return on investment. It means to measure how profitable an investment is going to be. Return on investment significa retorno de la inversión. For example, Stella is planning on buying that machine, but first she needs to determine its ROI. You should definitely buy stock in that company. Their ROI is excellent.
Have you ever heard the word stockbroker? Do you know what it means? A stockbroker is a licensed agent who has to pass certain qualifying tests to be certified to offer securities investment and advices to investors. Stockbrokers act as agents who can either risk a lot or make their clients gain a lot of money through the buying and selling of stocks and other securities. Today we will show you how a workday in the life of a stockbroker is like.
My name is Juan Fernando Recio, and now I'm the president of this company, which is called RTN. The stock market is the marketplace where buyers and sellers of stocks take place. So they just go into one place and they buy and sell stocks. If you have some spare money in order to buy some stock, so the question will be, what does that guy have to do? The first thing, the only way he could buy or purchase stocks, it has to be through a broker. So if you want to buy Colombian stocks, you'll have to get a broker that's authorized on the BBC, on the Colombian Stock Exchange. So you have to open an account with that broker and then send the money, wire the money, and then you'll be able to buy or sell stocks. The difference between the Colombian stock market and the US market, basically it's the same thing. What's the huge difference. In the US market, you buy and sell US stocks, and you could also buy stocks from another places of the world, which is called ADRs. Okay. In the Colombian exchange, you buy stocks that are listed for Colombian companies, but the biggest difference, the huge difference, are the volumes. The Colombian market, it's a small market. Okay, it's only worth around 70 to 80 million dollars a day trading. And 70 or 80 million dollars is just, which is the whole market in Colombia, could be just one stock in the US. So that's the huge difference. The other huge difference is that in the US, you can go short one stock, meaning you could sell one stock without having it. In Colombia, you cannot go short one stock. A stockbroker it's a person which is authorized first by the exchange, then by the AMB, Autorregulador del Mercado de Valores, that authorizes this person, which is the broker, called the broker, that he could receive an order from an investor in order to buy or sell your stocks. If you want to invest in the stock markets, what do you have to take into account will be the question, right? First of all, you need to know that it's a risky business. I mean, that you could lose everything. I mean, you could turn $1 into $0, or you can turn $1 into $1,000. Number two is knowing what are you going to buy, okay? You buy Facebook, you buy Nacional de Chocolates, Bancolombia, Sura. What are you going to buy? Nobody knows where the market's going. So the next question would be, how do I determine what to buy? The advice I would give to somebody that wants to work as a stockbroker, right, would be, I think the market is changing a lot. It's trending from something much different. The new broker has to be somebody that studies a lot, that it's somebody very well, that knows very well the market, not only the Colombian market, but the markets from what's going on in Brazil, what's going on in Mexico, what's going on in Chile, what's going on in the US, Canada. So it has to be somebody that's studying. I mean, it's not like before that it was something that you had just relationships. The market goes up and down, and as a stockbroker, your sentiment goes up and down. So you're one day happy, one day sad, one day happy, one day sad. So the only way that keeps you in the middle is your passion, that you love what you're doing. The first thing you have to have, and you need to know that you have, is that you're a passionate person of the financial world. If you're not a passionate person, don't get into this business because you're gonna get crushed. Forex it means foreign exchange. Some people say FX, which that's how the people know the FX. The FX market, it's where you trade currencies. So for example, our currency is the US dollar against the Colombian peso. So basically it's where you trade. In the stock market, you trade stocks. In the FX market, you trade currencies. My normal day, it starts by knowing what happened first in Brazil, which is the biggest Latin American market. Then I need to know what happened in Mexico, Chile, which are the other big Latin American markets. Then I need to know what happened in the European session. Then I need to know what's going to happen in the US session, if there are any news coming out. And finally, I need to know what's going to happen in the Colombian day. For example, if the central bank has a meeting, if any news is coming out. The biggest reward this job has given me is definitely passion. I mean, I love what I do, and definitely the market has given me the possibility of do something in the world to show that we're doing something for Latin America and for Colombia.
We will be right back after this short break. Don't move so you can see some economic terms and tips that might come in handy for you. Stay tuned.
Do you know how to calculate your equity? Equity. Equity can be calculated by the following formula. Equity equals total assets minus total liabilities. Para calcular el patrimonio, al total de los activos se resta el total de los pasivos. For example, Maria's equity is composed mostly of stock. Robert has lost a lot of equity because he took on too many loans to pay for school.
If you're a business person, pay attention to our following segment about international trade and the importance of business English in this globalized world.
Learning English has been fundamental to me in my life and for this business. Without it, I would have been able to be where I am now and work where I work now. What we do is something which is new in the flower business, not as a concept, but in the flower business, which is outsourcing, marketing and sales outsourcing for several farms that did not have maybe the opportunity to export directly to markets outside Colombia, and or also for companies, bigger companies that needed help in their sales and marketing department. What I do is I sell to different customers that I have in different countries. In Andean Fields, we sell to the United States, we sell to European countries, to Australia, we sell to Japan, we also sell in South America. This business, and I believe like probably most of the businesses, is based on personal relationships. You have to create relationships with your customers. But of course, everything has to do with the quality, consistent quality of the products. If you have a good product consistently, they will want it and they will buy it from you. You have to be able to make relationships with your customers. How you get those customers? Well, you know, these times, the internet is helping find customers all over the world, but certainly there has to be a point in time where you have to meet your customers. So that's why you have to travel. This business needs to be 360 days a year because flowers come out every day. They don't stop growing. In the roses, we have about a period of 75 to 80 days from the moment that you cut and they start to grow, and then they come out again for being cut again. So depending on the variety, then it has different periods and different cut points, depending on how fast they open and also to what market they are going. Depending on the market, some markets need the flower tight cut and some more open cut. So we have to know to which market we want those flowers so that we cut them correctly. Once they're cut here in the field, they are being transported to the grading room and to the coolers where they are hydrated also, and then they are processed also depending to which market and which customer they are going to, and they are then packed, and then they are sent usually to the airport for them to be sent to different places in the world. If you're going to the United States, you can have a flower cut today and be in the market by in Miami by probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. We need to have relationships with cargo agencies and other agencies because the logistics is also a very important part of the business, or any other business that exports products to other countries. When George Bush, the first one, was in the presidency of the United States, he decided to help out countries that were helping in the war against drugs. And in that sense, they created what they call the Andean Trade Preference Act. It gave free entrance to a lot of products coming from Colombia and other Andean countries into the United States. So the flowers were able to go into the United States without paying any taxes. After the 10 years, then it came sort of, let's call it like a battle, in the sense that we had to, and when I say we, I mean the Colombian growers had to go and convince the government and the Congress of the United States to extend those preferences, and every time that the term was going to come to an end, then we had to go again and ask for extensions. So when the free trade agreement came into place, what that means for the flower is to continue now indefinitely going into that market without paying the taxes. A Colombian rose, if you buy in a supermarket, the supermarkets buy them in bouquets already handmade here in the country, so you can, depending on the number of roses, you can buy for $19.99. But if you go to a florist, a dozen roses with the vase and the balloons and everything, you can probably pay $60, $70, $80 for an arrangement. Certainly, the revaluation of our peso against the dollar has been a very, very difficult issue to handle. Since we sell in dollars, then we are tied to that rate, the dollar rate here, and it affects tremendously to be able to pay for all the costs that we have. And it's important to understand that in the flower business, over 50% of the cost is hand labor. The flower business does give a lot of jobs here in the country. You have 10 hectares. For roses, you would probably need 100 people. Not only in the field, but also the people that you need in the grading room for having them pack, process and pack the flowers. The growers need the flowers cut early in the morning. So probably they come around 6:15 in the morning, and they work until 3:30 in the afternoon. This is the cooler. This is where the flowers come from the field and first come here. They will stay here for at least an hour, and then they will go out into the grading room. So this is where they come first. The temperature here in this room is around 4 degrees Celsius, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius, and that's why we want to bring the temperature down so we can start helping them to preserve longer. So when the process comes here, then we go into another cooler room where we hydrate them and then we pack them. So let's follow the process over here. Okay, so we have here several areas. We have for them to start having hydration. They will still stay here at least 12 to 18 hours before they are packed. The temperature here is also between 2 to 4 degrees centigrade. So here we have the flowers that we are going to pick to be packed depending on which customer we are going to ship to. For Valentine's Day, for example, what is the biggest of the holidays, basically you sell red roses, something like this, and what we want is that the customer will have this rose for many, many days in the vase, and a beautiful red rose from Colombia.
Pay attention to our following segment so you can see a little bit of the history of the most important stock markets in the world.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average is what many economics use to measure the financial health of the United States. General Electric is the only company that is still on there that was on there when it was developed in 1896. The New York Stock Exchange is probably the most well-known stock exchange in the world, but did you know it's not the oldest in the US? The Philadelphia Stock Exchange was created 2 years earlier in 1790.
Well, that's all for today. We have reached the end of our show, and we hope that you will continue to join us on this journey through the English language in each one of our different subjects. See you soon and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Acabas de ver Bilingüismo, Inglés. Capítulo 4.